Well, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. And that's all that matters. I'm just so incredibly proud of our team. Um, the toughness and the fight and the resiliency to to find ourselves in the situation we were in the fourth quarter, them taking the lead and just having to get a drive on offense and having to get a stop on defense. Just, that if we're anything, our guys are tough and resilient. And it took all that today. That the team we beat is incredibly athletic. They we thought defensively it was the fastest defense that we've faced this year, of every team we've played. I think they're very well coached. I think Coach Traylor's just done a terrific job for them to uh, to have the home record that they have here. I mean, that's incredible. Everybody takes pride in playing at home. These guys, you do it better than anybody in the country. So this is a huge, huge win for our team and our program, and to be where we were at the beginning of the season, to start 1-3, and to be on the doorstep of a bowl game a week ago, and just let that one go, uh, pee it away, was really disappointing. And to come here against a team that's really, really good, really athletic, and to find ourselves bowl eligible is about improbable. And our guys just willed their way to a victory. I thought our coaches did a really good job of preparing our team. I thought Coach Woody and Coach Worley called a great game. We hit the kicks that we needed to hit, and those were big. And just really thrilled to have a victory. And I haven't even hardly taken a breath. I'm just so excited for our players and so happy for them. They earned it, and you play the games for the players, and it's awesome to see them be rewarded for such a gritty, tough performance.
Ken, start us off.
Coach, congratulations. Ken Pratzer, Camden's Media. Just maybe going through the game, you're down 10-0. They got an early touchdown and a field goal. But then Noah Short's 81-yard run just seemed to get your offense back, get your energy back. 10-7. What did you think at that point?
What a run! Like I said, I think that's the fastest defense that we faced all year, and he outran them. And it wasn't like they were gaining on him. He took off and ran away from them. I mean, it was a great, great play, and we got ourselves in bad position there. Um, you know, they kicked the ball deep. We backed up to catch it. We should have fair caught the ball. We only got the ball out to the 17-yard line. So we lost 8 yards of field position to start the drive. We gained 2 on first down, and then we hit that play, and it was a great run. And man, did we need it.
And then you get a field goal from Dawson Jones, 27 yards, and the Jaden Mays interception, run back 73 yards, give you 17-10 halftime lead. How'd you feel then?
I felt pretty good, Ken. How'd you feel?
Better.
Yeah. Um, it was a great play. It was kind of bobbled and tipped, and he caught it. And the receiver, I can't recall. He might have ended up on the ground. And oftentimes, the intended receiver is the guy that makes the tackle on an interception, but he's able to get past him. And there were just kind of some linemen. Other receivers were downfield on the other side of the field, and just didn't have an angle on him. And when he got past those linemen, it was a great play. And then as he got down there close to the goal line, some of those guys hawked him down. They got fast receivers, and they ran him down. And I don't know how he stretched and reached it over the goal line, but I'm glad he did. It's that, as you saw when we get down there close to the goal line, it's not a gimme. It's hard to get that thing across the goal line. They're a big, stout defense, and that was a huge, huge play. Play of the game made a difference in us winning or losing.
So the second half, you stopped the opening UTSA drive, get the ball back. Dawson Jones gets 37-yard field goal. But then UTSA gets a couple of scoring drives. They get the couple of passes were down to over range. Got them a touchdown, and then they get the down gets another one. But then you get the ball back, and at Drone's 25, and you got a 4th and 2 at the 33. and you get the pass. Kale gets it out to Samari Howard, who's on his back.
Yeah.
And then you get the pass, 4th and 4, the 48 to Parker Pulaski. And then Kale gets a 19-yard run, gets you in good position. And then you're down to 3rd and 4 and the 4-yard line. And you get the pass. Kale rolls rolls right and sees Pulaski in the end zone, throws, gets it to him. Good catch. What are you thinking?
Well, that's a lot for me to remember, Ken. But I will say on the 4th down plays, the wheel route to Samari's on his back, the throw down the middle to Parker for the 1st down. I mean, those are 4th down plays. I think Cody said he called 3 passes on 4th down. Was one of those the halfback pass, I believe, maybe to it was in the 1st half. Yeah. But we got pressure on both of those. If we didn't get pressure on the wheel route, I think he probably scores. If we didn't get pressure on the throw to Parker down the middle, I think he scores. So both of those were well designed at the right time. And then the touchdown pass was just a boot play. We really thought maybe he might run the ball, and on a boot, that's one of the saving graces of getting outside the pocket is the quarterback still has a chance to run and doesn't have to throw it away, and less likely to get a sack. And so, but we overcame a lot. We ran that reverse and got tackled for a loss. Had to punt on that drive. We overcame some big plays by their defense, and like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it's just good enough.
I just feel being able to mount a 4th quarter drive like that, finish it, take the lead, win the game, and then have momentum going into Navy, and then now you have a bowl game after that.
It was it's just I think those guys, our football team is tough. They're tough-minded. They're physically tough. Sometimes we don't make all the plays. Sometimes there's other guys on the other team that just out-athlete us or outrun us, or they're bigger. But our guys are tough. They're going to keep battling. And there was just a determination in the team tonight. And I can't tell you that I felt that all week or felt it in pregame, or they just kept fighting. And that's what happened in that 4th quarter when we had to make plays and we didn't have the lead. We had to make plays. They did. They came up with the ones that we needed. And so it was just awesome. I love so much about this team, be a part of this team. Those guys are fighters. And that's our 8th 1-score game this year. 8 in 1 year. And we're 4-4 in those games. And thankfully we found a way tonight. I wish we could have found a way in the other 4. That'd be nice. But to be disappointed like that, to have that feeling, that gut punch feeling that you just one play away from maybe a win instead of a loss, that takes its toll on you. And it can break an individual, it can break a team. And these guys, they just haven't been broken. And so I think that was what showed up tonight, and why I'm so proud of them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ken.
Austin, go ahead on Zoom.
Yep, we'll go to Joe Iacono first. Once again, we'll do 2 per person, and we'll come back if we have extra time. Joe, go ahead.
Coach Monken, congratulations on a great win. You just mentioned it, talking about the toughness and the resilience of this team and the 8-1 score games and the 4-4 record in those games. It literally seems like with this team, the more their backs against the wall and the more pressure they're under, the better they perform. I mean, multiple 4th downs on the go-ahead scoring drive today towards the end, the 3rd and 4 pass into the end zone, having the win to get to the bowl game today and have the winning record. What is it? You mentioned the resilience and the toughness. Just, like you said, last week's loss could have been crushing. And there's a lot of teams that don't recover from losses like that. The home opener and then coming back to beat Kansas State. I mean, what is it about this team's character that allows them to perform so well when the heat is the hottest, I guess?
Well, we did in those two games. But last week we had our backs to the wall too. We gave up a 3rd and 24 and didn't take the proper angles on defense. We got a defense that's set up to let the ball be caught in front of you, and we got buddy tackles from every angle. And one guy took a poor angle, and the other guy missed the tackle, and they got 4th and 2 and kicked a field goal. Now it's an 8-point game, and we've got to get a first down and keep the clock moving. And we run a double crosser with a drag. The two guys dragging back to the same side are open, throw it to the only double covered guy. Then they go down and score, kick an onside kick. What we got to do is get a first down. Can't get a first down. Well, doesn't mean they have to score. They march down, kick a field goal, and beat us. We didn't answer the bell last week. We allowed that to happen, and credit to Tulsa for making plays, but our backs were to the wall at that point too. It didn't mean our guys weren't fighting. They were trying and they were fighting, scratching, and we made some errors, and it was disappointing. But tonight we found a way. And I think it's most difficult to do that when you've been disappointed, which is, I think, what makes the Kansas State victory and the victory tonight so special, is because losses like that can break you. And our guys just haven't been broken. And tonight they answered the bell. And it's just awesome to be a part of a team like that. The love in that brotherhood and that locker room. I mean, those guys are fighting for each other, and just a lot of pride. So that's what happened tonight. It hasn't happened in every one of those games, but it happened tonight.
And my follow-up and final question, Kale mentioned he wasn't quite 100%. I could see that on TV. Even it was pretty obvious. And there were some like third and mediums where you guys would typically, I think, run the quarterback, where you made some other choices tonight. Noah obviously got a lot more carries than we're used to seeing out of him. Was the decision to get the ball to Noah more either because of Kale's health, or was it more just something you saw on the perimeter in their defense, or was it just, hey, we need to get Noah the ball more, he's a playmaker, or a combination of all three?
Probably a combination of all three. He's a fast guy, and they got a fast defense, so we figure we better do our best to match, one athlete for another. And uh, Kale's hurt, and he got injured last week in the game, and God bless that guy. He got treatment all week and powered through today. Samari Howard was throwing up cats and dogs all night, even this morning. Played the whole game. I mean, these guys are tough. You saw Samari Howard this morning. I mean, he didn't look very good, but he went through the walkthrough, and there was nothing. They were going to have to drag him off if he wasn't going to play. But that's just the spirit of our team and the spirit of that locker room.
Thanks, Coach Monken.
This.
We'll go to Seth Mendelson next. Seth, go ahead.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on a very exciting win and being bowl eligible. My only question really is about Parker. Caught the winning touchdown. This is the first TD, as we were talking before with the players, first TD by a tight end since, we believe, 2008 for Army. And of course, he made the other catch too. Talk about him. He spends a lot of time blocking and not really that much time catching the ball, but here when he has to, he did. Take us through that.
Well, most of our guys spend most of their time blocking. We're obviously a run-based team, and we ask him to do that. He becomes like another lineman. He's really tough. He's athletic. I think he's an outstanding tight end. He's got good hands. That's just not part of our deal, is to throw to the tight end a whole bunch. But he made some really big plays for us tonight. Obviously, the one pressure where we threw the wheel route to Samari on the ground, that was Parker, and it was just, in his mind, a little confusion on the protection. And I mean, we're using him as a lineman in protection there. So we ask a lot of him and those tight ends, and it's just different, just a different job description than a typical tight end.
Okay, and the first time since 2008 for a tight end, that's kind of might be a record in the NCAA, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Um, it's I don't know. I mean, we playing with a true tight end here. There's probably a lot of years in there where running the option there wasn't even a true tight end. I mean, I think there's some years here for a while where we had the only tight ends we had were linemen, and we put them in a tight end number just to make people try to honor them. And so, but we do that. The tight end is in the game almost 100% of the time. I don't know if we've had, but a couple snaps all year where there wasn't a tight end in the game. Sometimes there's been two, and so I guess what do they say? The odds are at some point he's probably going to catch a pass and maybe catch a touchdown. So good for him. He's a great kid, and that's a guy that his parents are from my hometown. His dad was a high school teammate of mine, and so I've known that family a long time. So it's pretty special to have a guy like that on our team and see him make a play.
We'll wrap up with Ken McMillan. Ken, go ahead.
Jeff, congratulations. After UTSA went up, your defense made 5 stops on them before they got those 2 scores, bridging the third and the fourth. And then, of course, you get the final series. Can you just elaborate on what you saw from your defense today?
I thought Coach Woody called a great game. Um, they hit a couple big plays. Uh, we didn't turn anybody loose. We had guys in position, and they just made really good plays. The one that went down their sideline that the tight end caught, I think number 9. We had the safety kind of running along there with him, and he tried to just push his hand through to deny the pass. I think it was Madison that was over there, and we had plays where we were in position, just didn't make them. But um, we made them earn it. We made them take it down to the field most of the time, and if we can just keep them in front of us and keep making stops and get them in third down, then you got a chance to get them off the field. And we made some really key stops. We made a 4th down stop in the second half, which was big. Um, and we didn't get a full 7 out of it. We got 3, but we got some points out of that, and that was big.
And Jeff, you won now 3 of your last 4, 5 of your last 7. And in those 2 losses, let's face it, you were there 58 minutes and 56 minutes. So there's a lot to be said about the way Army's playing in the second half of this season. Do you believe in momentum, especially heading into the Navy game and beyond? Or, what's your thoughts?
Well, Lou Holtz always said, "You never lose momentum if you never stop believing." So I don't know that we've lost momentum or gained momentum. It just our guys and the way they fight and the way they prepare. I think just it's kind of maybe ingrained into them through their experience at West Point. Hopefully, a byproduct of the culture of our program, and so they kept believing and kept playing, and so like I said, to start out 1-3 and to be here, knowing we're gonna have a chance to play one more time in a bowl game. I mean, I don't know if anybody would believe it after they saw us get our butts handed to us by East Carolina, but it didn't affect our guys. They came back the next week and won, and then won again, and had a disappointing loss at Tulane. Came back and went out to Air Force and won. I mean, there's just we just kept fighting, and 8 1-score games, and we're battling, and that's you think of those 1-score games now. That's Tarleton, and everybody's like, oh gosh, Tarleton is they're one of the best FCS programs in the country. They're a top 4 seed in the playoffs, at FCS playoffs. Now, I coached a long time FCS football at Georgia Southern. I can tell you Tarleton right now could go into many of these leagues that are playing Group of 5, and they'd be a bowl team right now. They got a good team, and we have 30 guys on our team from the state of Texas. A bunch of them came home tonight. Great pride. You know how many of them had a scholarship off from Tarleton? 0. So they got a good team. And you know, you lose to North Texas. North Texas is going to the conference championship. They might be the playoff team, and we got them in overtime. We got Tulane, who's going to be the other team in the conference championship if they beat Charlotte tonight, which I figure they probably got a pretty good chance. We had them on the ropes and had them beat. You know, if we just make a play, and we didn't. They made the play. So we've been battling. These are really good football teams that we lost to. Now, Tulsa, they haven't had quite the season that those others have, but you know, just in terms of athlete for athlete, it's not like we got a great matchup there. So we have battled and found a way, and so that puts us here with an opportunity to play in a bowl game, and I'm really proud of our team.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Coach, just want to ask about Casey Larkin. Is he okay?
He is. Oftentimes, those guys get a hard shot and they'll get a stinger, which is, you know, usually it's one side where they get up in their trap and down their arm, and he ended up with a double. So that was, you know, I know there's a lot of concern. They, you know, you probably see on TV, they were checking his neck and checking all the extremities, and we got a great training staff. They took their time. They talked to him all the way through it, and did a really great job with him. So he's gonna be fine.
Thanks, everybody.
Beat Navy.